Hi and welcome everybody. My name is Christina and this is the fourth episode of the Sheepishly Knit Knitting podcast. I think the last time I filmed was about 2 weeks ago, so I wanted to establish a more frequent uploading pattern. So I hope I can stick to every 2 to 3 weeks maybe, because I also think that the videos are more manageable in that length. So yeah, today, because it's only been 2 weeks, I don't have a whole lot to show. I have 2 finished objects, which are both small accessories, and then I do have 2 to 3 works in progress and a few acquisitions again. So I think I will just start with the FOs right away. I don't remember the order in which I finished them. But I will start with this one. This is the second version of my Ribka pouch by, I forgot the designer's name, but this is this cute little fish pouch, which is knit in, the pattern is written for a mohair and a fingering, sock fingering base. It's meant for scraps, so I used scraps. I used just some random mohair I had, and the sock yarn that I used was a random scrap I got at a flea market. She just gave it to me when I purchased other yarn from her. And I think the sock yarn looks so cute, and I had 33 grams of it, but it's this rainbow colorway, but also this purple colorway. So I'm very intrigued how it would have looked in socks. I'm kind of sad I don't have a full bowl to try it out, but I think I will try to do maybe something contrasting on the sock ones, because I do think I still have maybe 25 grams left or something like that. So I think for stripes or something, it should be enough. Really curious how this will look. I'm still not quite sure how I like the dark mohair with the very colorful base, but I think it's cute that it turned out so different, and also that you can kind of see the stitching around here on the other side. And also this side kind of reminds me of the rainbow fish. I don't know if you guys know it, but in Germany, most people my age know the Regenbogenfisch from their childhood. It's a story about a fish that's very pretty, that has holographic scales, some holographic scales, and I think first of all he's very snobbish about it and very feels better than everyone else. But after some time, he gets to know the other ocean inhabitants and builds friendships with them, and he gives each one of them one of his holographic scales, so he's only left with one singular, and he kind of builds his friendships that way, and that's a very kindergartenish story, but it reminds me of him. And the only other thing is I really want to find those cute little buttons that the designer used in her photos to use for the eyes. I think this would look adorable. I do have some beads and stuff, quite a bit actually, but I don't think it looks as good as those tiny buttons. So I will ask my mom if maybe she has something like this in stash, or if not, I will probably purchase something. And this one I explicitly made to hold my headphones, my Bluetooth headphones, and it fits perfectly. So very happy with this. And my next finished object is kind of, I'll just show it to you first. This is kind of an experimental hat I made. My friend gifted me this yarn for my birthday this year, and I really didn't know what to make with it. Because I had like 100-gram ball, I thought like a hat would be the perfect opportunity. And I kind of really got the vision for a hat with like this ruffle at the edge. And that's what I ended up making. This is using Rico Creative Cotton Flecky Fleece, I think, the name of the yarn. And it's the colorway Retro, I believe. So I will put everything everything I can, I will put in the description box below. And yeah, the edge right here is brushed alpaca silk in denim blue. I just wanted like a fluffy edge on this ruffle, and I'm very happy how it turned out, but I do have like some things. I kind of reworked this ruffle like 3 or 4 times because it never ended up looking the way I wanted it to. I'm very happy I tried, for the first time I tried a top-down hat construction. I just took like the guide from a free pattern that I found. I will put it up here. And yeah, because the ruffle, this is inspired or reworked from sorry, excuse me. This is reworked from a chart from the Japanese Stitch Bible. I don't know how I don't remember what the book title is, but yeah, I do have this book with stitches, and there's also a few examples of ruffles, and I just looked at the ruffles which I liked the most and kind of made it work for this hat. And I think I reworked this like 3 or 4 times and ended up changing this quite a bit. But yeah, I was really happy that I started at top down because I could just rip this section back and didn't have to rework the whole head. I knit the head in 4mm needles and the ruffle in 3.5, just to give it like this tightness so it stands up a little more. Yeah, I do have quite a big head, so I increased until I had, I think, 120 stitches for like DK weight, and it fits perfectly right now, but it isn't blocked because I was afraid to block it, that it would stretch out way too much, because it happened for me with one head, and that it stretched out so much that you couldn't wear it basically. So yeah, I really like how this turned out. The only thing is with these colors together, it really reminds me of a like baby head. I think if I made it like in a darker color or something, maybe more vibrant, I think it would look very cute and like more experimental. But like this, sometimes I do feel like I'm wearing a baby head. So I think I really have to be careful what I style this with, especially because I tend to wear quite colorful stuff sometimes. Yeah, but I'm tempted to knit another one in like a different color. But we are going to Japan in 2 days, so I really wanted, yeah. So I think this is kind of a style I could easily wear in Japan. Yeah, let's see. Also, I totally forgot to talk about what I'm wearing today, but it's nothing very special. It's just a really old store-bought sweatshirt, cotton sweatshirt, I think. It's like very old, it's already fraying at the end. So these were my 2 finished objects. I will start with, yeah, for my works in progress, for my whips, I will start with my vest because I think it's like the perfect transition. Yeah, I start with it because I think it's the perfect transition between finished objects and work in progress because it does look quite finished. I will insert a picture of me wearing it already, except for the ends, of course. But yeah, I finished my vest. There's a little mistake here, which I have to correct, but otherwise I finished my vest and did like this tubular bind off on 441 stitches. And after doing the bind off, I realized I want this to be longer. Don't get me wrong, I tried it on so many times while knitting it, and also, yeah, knew how long I wanted it to be, but I think like the knitting needles when they're on the bottom, but also like the barber cord when I put it on the cord to try it on. Either way, I think it stretches it out a little more, so it looks like you're done, but yeah, actually I want to add another 3 centimeters before I do the ribbing, so my plan is just to rip this back and rip back the ribbing and then add 3 centimeters and do the same length of ribbing again. And then I, of course, would add the button band. But this was quite a bit of work, so I just thought it's not the best timing to do this, to rush it before the vacation. So this is like one of my winter plans to rework this and yeah, finish my vest. Also, oh, for anybody who didn't see my last video, this is a self-drafted vest. This is my first self-drafted, I guess, garment. So it was quite like, it did include some trial and error, as you can see, but other than that, I didn't want this to be too much of a hassle, so I just did it to see how it looked like, and I'm quite happy. It's not 100% the thing that I wanted it to be, but I plan on making a second version of it for like spring and in a different color, and there I will try to correct everything that I'm not happy with in this sample, and I will probably write up a pattern for this because the only reason I self-drafted this was because I couldn't find the thing that I wanted. I wanted like this very relaxed vest, but I wanted the shoulders to be like fitted. I don't like how these like very drop shoulder vests look on my body type. So yeah, and I wanted it to be like thin and just very layerable, I guess. So yeah, probably will write up a pattern for this in the future. Yeah, for my next work in progress, I will have to be careful not to lose my stitches. I resurrected an old whip. This doesn't look like much, I think, right now, but this is the Gal sweater by, I always forget to look up the designers' names before I start filming, but it's like Maria, I will put the name here, I'm sorry. Yeah, this sweater is work bottom up. This is my first bottom up construction, or like full sized. I did one baby vest bottom up, but other than that, this is my first like bottom up garment. And the way you do it is you knit the sleeves separately. Yeah, I finished with those, and then you knit the body bottom up. I had one sleeve finished for like a few months now, but I really didn't want to work on mohair for a long time. But I also don't like having old whips laying around for too long. So right after I finished like my most recent projects, like the gift knits for my sister and my mom and everything, I wanted to focus more on my stuff. And because before I cast on something new, I really wanted to finish this or like get some progress on this. So yeah, in those like about 2 weeks, I finished the second sleeve and let's say about half of the body. So maybe you can tell this is like the casting for like the waist. This will go on the waist and you will put I got straps through it so you can tie it in the waist. The biggest problem I have with this pattern, it's two things, but it's not about the pattern, is it's not the fault of the pattern, is for once. The stitch pattern is quite easy to remember, but for me it was very hard to keep track of it on the sleeves, especially because I kind of forgot on which row I was on, and it's very hard to kind of count your or like read your stitches. So it was hard to find your way back, I guess, if you lost track. So that was a little problematic on the sleeves because the circumference was a lot smaller and you changed rows way quicker. Here on the body I don't have this problem almost at all because your rows are so long that you kind of remember where you're at. This is the one thing. The other thing is, for now, it's not the worst working at bottom up. I only don't like that you have like so many separate pieces you have to then knit together at some point. I like to like have one pair of needles occupied and that's it. But other than that, one problem I have with this is because this string is supposed to sit on your waist, I was very hesitant to cast the body on because I do have a larger chest, and in the pictures it looked like the waistbands sit quite high on the waist. So I was very worried that if I knit the same length of body that the waistband would sit like right under my chest or maybe even on my chest, and I really didn't want this look. I really wanted this to sit on my natural waist. So what I did, there are some modifications specified in the pattern to knit the body longer prior, like above the waist, for like extra tall people. I'm by no means extra tall, but yeah, that's the modification I'm doing just to like account for more space, because like tops tend to, especially like more form-fitting tops, tend to like rise up on my body. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I finished half of a repeat after the waistband, and I have to do 2 more before joining everything in the round and doing like raglan shaping. I will try to get as much done before we are leaving because I really wanted to get this to the point before the raglan decreases, before we leave for vacation, so I can just leave this at home and take another project with me, and it would like make me feel better. But we'll see. Yeah, so far I'm liking it. My only but quite a big complaint with this pattern is that I'm knitting the size extra large, and it is the largest size. It only comes in 4 sizes, and I'm right at the top of like the sizing chart, and I think that's really not good. So yeah, but I bought this pattern right at the start, right when I started knitting, and I didn't like look about sizing yet. I just looked that I will fit in it, but now kind of with more experience that I got, I realized that sizing is quite an important thing, and there are so many like beautiful patterns out there that are size inclusive. So I think I wouldn't buy more patterns that are so bad in sizing. But this one, as I said, I bought it way before I kind of thought about that, and yeah, because I already spent the money, I thought I can cast this on. So yeah, this is the gal sweater. I hope this will turn out cute. I bought this yarn quite a long time ago. Also, this is Drops Kid Silk in the color Old Rose or something. I did buy this yarn quite some time ago, especially for this project in mind, but I don't know if I would choose the same color again for this project because it's like very feminine and the color is also like pink, also very feminine. I tend to dress more like I don't tend to dress like extremely feminine, let's say it that way. I like to counterpart it with like more harsher stuff. So if I would do this again, maybe I would have chosen a different color. But at the same time, I think when I'm ready with this and pair it with the clothes I have, it won't look as like daringly feminine as it looks now, because this is like a lace top in pink. It's like very cliche, I guess, but I think when I pair it together with like gray jeans, it will fit more with my style. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just wanting to finish the. Oh yeah, my plan is to. I really want to finish this before Christmas because this is like the thing I want to wear for Christmas and New Year's. Yeah, that's everything. Yeah, for my last work in progress, I just had to get up because this fell down. I do have one more work in progress, my white socks, ruffle socks, but I didn't work on them at all in the last 2 weeks, so they're kind of hibernating right now. This is a tangled mess right now. Yeah, for my last work in progress, I'm knitting. There's something here. I'm knitting myself a pair of DK weight socks. If you watched my last video, I knit my dad DK weight socks for Christmas, and I loved the experience. And so, when I finished the second sleeve of the gal sweater, I really was struggling to figure out like what to cast on for the body because, as I said, I wasn't sure which length I wanted to knit, and based on the length, I either had to start with with like the middle of the repeat or the beginning of the repeat. So while I was struggling with it, I just cast these on to have something to knit on, and yeah, I'm just doing very basic 2x2 rib socks all over. I'm now at the point that I will start doing the heel flap, and yeah, these I will take with me to Japan just for like as a smaller project to go for like the subway and stuff, because we will be a lot on the subway, I think. And they really liking how these are turning out. The yarn is just like, I think I bought it last year from Aldi. So it's just like basic sock wool from Strick, Dich, Glücklich. Yeah, just very very basic sock yarn. It's 75% superwash wool and 25% polyamide. And yeah. Oh, the color name is Jupiter, if anyone's curious. And yeah, my mom, I do have quite a few balls of these because they came like in 4-5 packs, I think. And I gave some to my mom because, as I said previously, she is an avid sock knitter. I'm not really. I do knit some socks here and there, especially on like train rides and stuff. But I'm more of a like everything else knitter, I guess. And yeah, but she did like this helix or helical knitting, I think, with this yarn and like a beige sock yarn. So you couldn't really see the pattern of the self-striping a lot. So I really wanted to just use this yarn and really don't want to think, so I just cast it on where it started. I now realize that it's just like one stripe off, but I don't mind this at all. These probably will just be house socks anyways. But I really love the colors, and I'm really liking the really thick striping. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how these are turning out. And I'm knitting these on 3mm needles. And oh, for the stitch count, I think I took one free pattern where it was like 52 stitches. And I did like 2 rows, and I saw already that they would be way too tight. So I think in the end, I'm pretty sure I cast it on 56. It's either 56 or 58 stitches. Yeah, so they're a little more roomy maybe. But I do have quite a high instep, so I do have to knit like wider socks so I can get it over my foot comfortably. Yeah. So these were all of my works in progress. I do have some acquisitions. I'm kind of getting overwhelmed with my acquisitions because I don't like having too much at the same time. I really want to use up my sweater quantities at least before buying new stuff. But I do have an excuse. First of all, one of it is not for me, it's for my boyfriend, and he really wanted me to knit him a sweater vest. So yeah, because I really want to finish this before or in winter. I didn't want to postpone it too much. So yeah, for my boyfriend, I bought Drops Lima. If you've been to my channel before, you know I really love Drops Lima because like I think maybe 80% of everything I knit in the past month was in Drops Lima. But this is the colorway Almond, I think. It's 9024. And I will knit him the Haru Vest by Knits by Summer. Yeah, we decided on the pattern together, and I did swatch for it already. I will have to do a proper swatch, but I did one. I talked about it in my last video. I did one in a different colorway before this one arrived. And I think that colorway was a lot thicker. Or maybe I knit also a lot tighter because it was like a new stitch pattern for me. I tend to start off a little tighter and then loosen up with time. And that one I knitted on 4.5, for the Haru Vest you knit it on 4mm needles. But that one I did on 4.5mm needles, and it was very tight still. So I even thought about having to go up to a 5mm needle. But I swatched with this already as well. But I did just like a very tiny swatch in like 4.5mm, and it feels a lot better. So This is a little bit of a heavier decay weight, I think. I also really think this depends on the colorway. I think depending on the colorway, it's either a true decay or a thicker decay. And yeah, and I swatched this on 4.5 millimeter needles and it felt really good. But I will have to do like a proper swatch, bigger swatch, and wash it before deciding. But I don't think I will knit this on 4 millimeter needles. I probably will do it on 4.5 and maybe like go up a size or go down a size or something. Yeah, swatch. This is what I want to tell you. So you always have to swatch before starting your projects. For my last two acquisitions, Hamburger Wollfabrik, which is like the closest yarn store to me, they sell yarn on cones, and you also, depending on the cones, you can kind of choose the thickness you want of the yarn, and they will wind it up for you in the thickness that you want. And their prices are very affordable. I think like 50 gram of merino is like €3.40 or something like that. So it's quite affordable and it's very good quality. My vest, for example, this vest is knit in their 100% merino base, and I really like how it feels very, very, very nice. The only thing is, because it's like separate strands that are wound together, it tends to split quite a bit. I knit like blouse number one in like 100% cotton from there, and it wasn't the most pleasant experience, especially for like stockinette, because you still had to check like every stitch that I got every single strand in there. So it wasn't mindless. But like for their more woolly bases, it's not as bad. And they do have quite like interesting bases. So that's like a very big plus point. And also, it's just very convenient for me. So they do have one big sale once a year, and it's most of the time it's like the first full week in November. So that's why I went there, and I bought this yarn first for myself. This is 70% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% silk, and 10% Angora. So as I said, they do have quite interesting bases. And I really, really like this color. And when they don't have samples, like swatches for every single yarn, but they did have for this, and it felt so, so nice. So I really wanted to try this yarn. And I had different plans, like different intentions when I went there. I wanted to buy like a red merino yarn and probably knit the sweater by November Knits. But when I was there, I kind of doubted myself, because red is kind of a really out there color for me. So I decided on on a color that I'm more like familiar with. And I really like this colorway, and as I said, the swatch felt amazing as well. So I was there and just kind of thought about what I can knit up in this the whole time, because I don't like buying yarn without having a particular project in mind. And I decided I will probably knit the Arctic Light sweater by Kika in this one. Veronica Lindberg is her name. And I saw like one project of the Arctic Light sweater. I don't remember by who, but she made this. I will try to put up a picture if I find it. She made this like pale yellow version, and it looked so, so, so cute. So, yeah, this is what I'm planning to do with this one. And from the same sale, I bought another yarn. This was more of a like spontaneous idea or purchase. So I bought this yarn. This is 55% silk and 45% linen. So this is a summer yarn. I just really liked the color. Maybe you can tell that I like this kind of color. I do tend to go through phases of which color I like to wear, but it's mostly like blue, pink, and green. Sometimes a little purple and yellow in there, but yeah, mostly these colors. And yeah, I thought like the strand looked very interesting. It's like kind of a chainnet style. And my idea was I will probably knit either the I think it's Sabai top by Susanne Müller or Paula Knits, or like something like the Cumulus tee by Petite Knit. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm also not sure if I have enough for like a t-shirt, but yeah, I really wanted to knit the Sabai top when it came out, but I already was struggling with my summer knits, or like my summer knit singular. So yeah, I think this will be perfect for next year, for next year's summer. So this was more of a laid back episode because I woke up not too long prior to this. Yeah, I hope you still enjoyed it very much. If you did, please consider to like or like comment some or something like that. Give me some feedback on this video. Maybe even subscribe if you want to keep up with future uploads. And yeah, very excited to kind of do this whole podcast thing. I'm really having fun, and I hope you enjoyed this video and will come back to see my future ones. And until then, I really wish you happy knitting and just health and happiness. Bye, everybody.